Hello again. We're definitely starting the fall and this, afternoon, beginning of Columbus Day weekend. This is a new wine for me, and I guess for us. It's a wine from Chile, so it's called Le Petit Clos. It's a second wine of Apalta, the winery. Clos Lapostolle is the name of the owner, and the first one is Clos Apalta, and this is the Petit Clos. Interesting story here. This is a 2015, by the way. This family, Lapostolle, is actually the Marniers family from France. The Marniers family, a Marnier gentleman, 120, 140 years ago, married into Lapostolle, a family, married Lapostolle, a woman. Her father had a distillery, so this gentleman by the name of Marnier, Louis-Alexandre Marnier, started thinking about inventing a new product, and guess what? He invented Grand Marnier with that distillery. And they had also a wine property in Sancerre called Chateau Sancerre, I think. So you go forward a few generations, in the 90s, the latest of that family, a woman, Alexandra Marnier Lapostolle, decided that they wanted to start a red wine, and she had heard a lot about Chile, so she went to Chile, discovered the area, discovered the region, and started this property and this winery in the Cochaga Valley, in the Apalta Valley, which is part of the Cochaga Valley, and it's called Lapostolle, which is really, again, the Marnier family. And it's just quite an interesting story because on top of that, the wine, the major grape that they decided to really sort of make their flagship is the Carmenère grape, which is now basically found pretty much almost only in Chile, and which originated in Bordeaux, and the name Carmenère comes from the carmine, carmine, it's a Latin word for really red, for red, and we'll see that when we look at the color. And so that Carmenère grape was exported to Chile more than 150 years ago from Bordeaux, pre-phylloxera. And in Chile, they thought it was Merlot for the longest time because it was one of the major blending grapes in Bordeaux, and it was kind of misunderstood and just mislabeled for the longest time. After the phylloxera, you couldn't really bring it back into Bordeaux because they didn't know where to get it from. And so now it's not present in France anymore. And the Carmenère grapes in Chile are pre-phylloxera, and I mean, of course, they've been renewed, but they are own rooted, so they have not been needed to be grafted, and for some reason there, the soil and the climate in that part of Chile has not really encouraged at all and been propitious for the development of phylloxera. So you've got some really interesting Franc de Pied Carmenère grapes, and then blended with Bordeaux, with the Cabernet Sauvignon, with Merlot, Petit Verdot, depending on the flagship wine. Clos Apalta has primarily Carmenère with Cabernet and a few other things mixed in. The Petit Clos has a blend that varies greatly. The 2015 is 50-50 basically, with a little bit of Petit Verdot. The 2016 was like 90% Cabernet. So I think that it's like a lot of the second wines in Bordeaux, they just have more flexibility in how they want to do it. They want to create the best possible second wine, and they have more, let's say, artistic license in how they do it, and often it's different blends. Anyway, the Clos Apalta is now one of the flagships of the South American wine industry. Everybody's heard of it, even if not a lot of people have had it because it's very expensive. The second wine is also very, very good. It's a lot cheaper, so I decided, you know what, let's try with this. And anyway, looking at the color, it's just incredibly deep. So you get that this meaning of the word, if you want, and it's a little bit dull. So maybe it's not filtered. It's a younger wine, so you wouldn't see a deposit on the bottle anyway. The shape of the bottle is very interesting. I like that. It's kind of old-fashioned with these high shoulders, but rounded shoulders as opposed to regular Cabernet. The alcohol is there. It's 14.5% alcohol. On the nose, it's just very, very aromatic. This is a wine that really makes you want to sniff it. It's kind of what I've said many times about the Renaissance Bellevue from Lebanon. It's just amazing aromas and power on the nose. All sorts of things. You get a little bit of, you got the fruit, you get a little bit of that caramelized thing, which is not caramelized, a little bit of that sweetness from a deep, intense fruit. You get a little bit of sort of tobacco. And you've got that sort of alcohol that just covers the whole thing. And it just really, to me, it's just really beautiful. Now, this bottle has been open for a couple of days, so it's got plenty of time to breathe. And it's just that, again, you just the aromas are really what win you over at the beginning. In the mouth, you get more of the tannins, lots of acidity. This is a food wine. The tannins are very velvety. They're smooth. They're really coated, and the mouth, the palate is very strong. It really explodes in your mouth because of the fruit. It's still pretty young. You don't have a lot of tertiary flavors, but the finish is not very strong. I mean, it's something that my wife noticed, and it's a very good observation because it's kind of like it just blows up. It's right there, and then it's gone, which is fine because it makes you want to take another sip. But then you still remember the intense, sensation when you first have it in your mouth. Still going strong after 2 days. This is really a very good wine. One of these days, maybe I'll splurge on the Clos and see the difference. I'm not quite sure if they use older vines because these vines are very, very old. And they're densely planted to reduce yield and to increase concentration. That's kind of one of the trade-offs when you want to, in terms of how you plant the vines. But it is definitely pretty intense. Highly recommended. See you soon.